And I want to thank the Rumi Forum for inviting me to this wonderful iftar dinner at such a very auspicious evening, different from almost any other evening in the month. I was asked to say a few words about what I thought about Ramadan, and had no idea that the audience would be so diverse. And obviously, I would not deliver a khutbah as an imam would, and I would not do justice, nor could I possibly say the sort of wonderful philosophical insights of a terrific person like Fethullah Gülen Hoca, whom I've had the great privilege of meeting 2.5 years ago in eastern Pennsylvania. And just to be in his presence and to be reminded of the themes of love and brotherhood and reaching out to others is something that one never forgets. And for those of you not familiar with his work, especially on interfaith dialogue, I strongly recommend that you read up. You can even Google Fethullah Gülen. So I thought what I would do is reflect a little bit about Ramadan and fasting as one of the 5 pillars. As virtually all of you know, along with the Creed, the Shahada, the Salat, the prayers, Zakat, the almsgiving, the Hajj, the pilgrimage, fasting is in some ways one of the most challenging of tasks that Muslims face. The Shahada, once you've done it, you've done it. And the prayers, while requiring some discipline, doesn't really take all that much time. And the Hajj is a once in a lifetime affair for most people. And I've learned a great deal about it from my teacher on Islam, Dr. Imaduddin Ahmed, president of the Minaret of Freedom, who was my Islam lecturer for more than 12 years at the Foreign Service Institute. And so I thought I would use his phrase when he said that the people of the book who practice their faith are Muslims with a small m. I come out of the tradition of my parents' religion, and I started out that way. But as I went to Muslim countries, first Ramadan I encountered in northern Sudan, and I had many friends come by my house and say Ramadan Kareem, and I didn't know what to say. I had 5 years of Arabic and 5 years of area studies, but I didn't have the kind of practical knowledge that one really ought to have in interacting with people. And then a few years later, I was a Fulbright professor in Egypt, and one of the first things I noticed is that Ramadan in Egypt is not the same as Ramadan in northern Sudan. And then I was able, over the years, to go to 25 Muslim countries, alhamdulillah, and I was very, very excited to see how Islam is one religion with one theology, but many different ways of doing it. There is diversity within the unity of the theology, but the diversity of how to do it on a day-to-day basis, including what kind of special foods are prepared for Ramadan, for the iftar. It's a wonderful experience. But we're here in Maryland, and I thought that as I reflected upon this evening, what it is like to fast from the morning until sunset in the evening. I did it only once today because I thought the least that I can do when I have an iftar with you is that I should be fasting today. And one is reminded by one's system that you have to think, and it makes you think. Not only that, it gives you extra time. The time that I normally will spend at breakfast and afterwards and at lunch and afterwards and even early dinner perhaps, I was doing nothing. I was free to think. And I think one of the great benefits of fasting during Ramadan is reflection. You think about what it is all about. You think about the people who don't have enough food to eat. You think about what justice would require for our life within our own country and among countries.